And welcome back to Stock Up with Uncle Larry. Today we're going to go over doing the math, right? So it's okay to know how to invest, and you've watched all of the other, hopefully you've watched all of the other lessons. If not, there's a link below. But knowing the fundamentals of investing and not knowing how to do the math, you're not off of first base yet. You're still stuck, right? So let's just go back to the fundamentals of doing the math in stocks, right? So sometimes people just take it, they just take it that you know everything. And I just like to make things plain and simple, right? For the beginner. So you don't be nervous when you're actually executing an order, or buy or sell order, right? So let's say I'm going to pull up my phone here. All right. So let's say a stock that you want to buy is $10 and 0.321. So $10 and 32.1 cents, right? And you have $100 and you want to buy shares of this stock. So what you would do is you would go $100 divided by 10.321 equals 9.68 shares. Now, you can't buy the 0.68 shares, so you can buy 9 shares, right? So that's how you calculate how many shares you can afford to buy of a certain stock, right? And so when you go into your order and you put a limit order or a market order, hopefully most of your orders are limit orders, you have to tell how many shares you want and at what price. So if you want it at the current price, this is how you do the math. It's very rare that stock is like $10, $5, $3. It's $5 and some cents, and then it's 0.00001 cent and like that. You understand what I'm saying? And so you want to be able to do the math on it, right? And so the other way is you could say, let's say the stock is 10.321, and you could go 10.321 times, let's say I want 500 shares. So you could go times 500. That's $5,160.50. So you see how it goes back and forward. So I know this is very fundamental, but we're trying to help everybody out there, all right, on doing the math. So I just wanted to go to the basics of doing the math. You have $500 and you want to buy the $10.321 stock. So you go 500 divided by $10.321 cents, and that equals 48 shares. So now you know you can afford to buy 48 shares, right? So that is just the basics of math on how you do with stocks. Because sometimes you get confused and you go, if you're new to this, you go, okay, this stock is how much? Then how many can I afford? You know, for those of you that's really just getting into this, right? So you're going to hear a term. I'm going to do this in this segment because it fits. It's called cost dollar averaging, or let me say that again. It's called dollar cost averaging. Say it with me. Dollar cost averaging, or dollar cost average. That is a very, very important lesson to learn in investing, right? And so here's why. Let's say you buy 2 shares of a stock that is $30, right? So $30 times 2, so that's $60, right? And let's say that $30 stock falls all the way down to $10, right? Did I do that right? 10, 20, 30. Correct. I'm trying to keep the math simple for me. Let's say that it goes all the way down to $10 and you buy 2 more shares at $10, right? So now you have 2 shares at $30 and you got 2 shares at $10. So now how much do you own the stock for? This principle is called dollar cost averaging. So the first 2 you bought at $30 a share, the second 2 you bought at $10 a share. So what you do is you take the amount of shares, which is 4, right? 4 shares. Let me bag this up. You add the total amount first. So you got 30 times 2 equals $60 plus the 2 that you bought at $10. That means 10 and 10 is $20. Just add it all up and that comes up to $80, right? Divide that by the amount of shares that you have, which is 4, and that's going to come to $20. So you bought 2 at $10 and then you bought 2 at $30. So now your cost average is $20 a share. And when you go to look at how much you paid for the stock in your brokerage account, Fidelity, TD Ameritrade, Robinhood, or whatever you use, now it's going to show that you purchased the price at $20. You purchased the stock at $20. So now let's go over that again. You bought 2 shares at $30 and you bought 2 shares at $10. Your dollar cost average now is 20 because the 2 that you bought at $30, let's say 2 times 30 is 60, plus the 2 that you bought at $10, 2 times 10 is 20, and that equals $80, right? Divided by the amount of shares that you bought, divided by the 4 shares that you bought, it gives you your dollar cost average. Very good, wasn't it? So I know this is very basic, very fundamental, but it's necessary for you to move forward so you know all of these principles before you execute a trade, right? So remember, I'm going to keep this one really, really short because I just wanted to get to the point. Please don't forget to go back and look at the other videos. Stop this video, rewind it if you need to until you get a lesson. What I suggest to you guys is watch 1 video a day, right? You can learn how to trade in a week. You can literally learn how to trade in a day. But I say learn one topic and learn it well and then move to the next one. Or try to get 2 a day or look at 1 an hour. But try to get an understanding before you move on. Don't be afraid to go back and rewind, right? So do me a favor, hit that like button, share this with your family and friends because there's going to be a lot of money made. And I know I've said this in every other video, but I am going to say it again. The biggest transfer of wealth in the history of your life is happening right now. Position yourselves. Adapt or die. All right? Let's not just be consumers, right? Let's be owners. We'll see you in the next lesson.